Well, welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. I'm your host, Cheron Moore, and do we have an exciting drummer for you today? When you think about getting it right the first time, my next guest gets the call. His credits includes The Temptations, Linda Hopkins, Jimmy McCracklin, The Marvelettes, and this group, tell me if you know what this is. Float on, float on. And my name is Larry. You got it, the Floaters. And Gloria, Gloria. I know, Cheron, you better know, I'm singing. You got it. Enchantment. And so many other people he's played with. Please help me welcome, if you will, to the Extraordinary Drummer Show, my guest today, JERRELL Ballard. What was it like playing with the Floaters? And my name is Larry. What was that like?
That was fun. That was a fun game.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Woo! You're a hard man to track down, boy. Oh, man. I got a better chance of getting Obama to catch up with you. How you been?
I've been great.
How old were you when you got your first drum kit?
Well, let me see. My first personal kit, my own. Well, my mother bought me one when I was, let's say, for Christmas. And that would have been, I would say I was probably 7, about 6 or 7 years old. And of course, those wasn't made out of a whole lot, so I tore that up real quick. But that was when I got my first drum set, when I was a little kid.
How old were you then?
When I first got that set?
Yeah.
I think 6.
Wow.
Yeah, because you had to be 6 or 7 years old. Yeah.
But what was it? Was you before you got the kit? Were you doing the pots and pans and?
Yeah, that's why she had to buy the drums, because we was tearing up the house. Pots, pans, hassets. That you sit your foot on. I remember it was made out of straw, and we busted. Me and my brothers. We had to watch it, because next thing was the belt was coming down. And if that hasset had a good drum-like sound, we would beat that hasset in boxes and pots and pans. And so Mom said, well, listen, I'm going to have to get these boys drums or something. So she got them a set for Christmas. And so, and after that, that was it.
I read somewhere where at age 10, you started playing with a gospel group called the Gospel Creators.
Yes.
What was that like, and how did that come about? Age 10, wow.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was playing. Well, what actually happened was the drummer for that particular group had gotten drafted, so he had to go to Vietnam. He was 18, and I would hear them rehearsing next door. And there was some friends of mine. I used to play basketball in their backyard, and when this gentleman got drafted, the father, he had taught his son, nephew, and all of them how to sing and play instruments, harmonize and all that. And so anyway, they told their dad that the kid next door, he played basketball, Dad, he plays drums. And so the dad said, well, is that right? Bring him to me. So they hey, my father wants to see you. He want to talk to you. So I went to talk to the dad. So he said, yes, son. So they tell me you play drums. And they had a set of drums within the group already. I didn't have drums at all. My brother had a piece of set that he was given because he played too, my older brother. Anyway, so I went over. They set me down and they started playing their songs. And so he said, okay. So we rehearsed and he's coming tomorrow. And we started, and I asked my mother, was it okay? And so she said, yeah, okay. And so I started rehearsing with them. And the next thing we know, we would play in churches on Sunday. We had uniforms, suits and everything. We dressed, everybody had ties, handkerchief, everything, socks and shoes, everything was alike.
Take me to junior high school. You joined the marching jazz band and started working with various bands around Los Angeles and performing at banquets and nightclubs and what happened. That was in junior high school.
Right. Actually, in junior high, that's when I was able to play drums, because I really wanted to play drums in elementary school, but they didn't have them. So the lady, that was the music teacher, she told my mother, well, we can give him a rhythm instrument. So they gave me a cello.
That's this guy, right?
The big one.
Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah, so she said he can play this until he gets into junior high, and then he can move up to the drums, because we don't have drums in elementary school. So I said, okay. I took the cello and worked with it till I could get, I hated the cello. I didn't want it, but I just had to take it so to keep me, I guess you would say, into music. So I would love that thing around. It was bigger than I was. And then finally I couldn't wait. When I got to junior high, I was like, oh, now. Then I could play a drum, you know. And so I got into I had to audition too. You had to audition to get in the band to see if you could play and read a little bit of music if you knew how. And I knew how to read a little bit at that time. So I passed and got into the band. And then I moved on up because I became in the drum and bugle corps. And so it also got me out of class in the morning, because we would do it in the morning, the reveille. So in the morning, we would go to the auditorium and put on these white shirt, white pants, and we'd do all this, the morning, the little ceremony they do in the morning, and we do the drum thing. And so after that, I started playing with different local bands, and we would play some of the local nightclubs, because back in those days, you could work a lot. You know, it was a lot of work, a lot of clubs, a lot of hotels, and all that. So playing was very easy. It's a whole big difference than it is today.
What were you then, about 15 years old or so? 14, 15?
Yeah.
Wow. How did you get in those clubs at that early age? How did you get in there? That's just right there. Wasn't you too young to get in these places?
Yes, I was. But I wasn't too young to work.
Did you have to have your card? Remember those cards?
All I had to do was go on the stage and play.
Okay.
And when you get off, you either go in the dressing room or you go outside. You could go sit in the car, in the parking lot. But you couldn't be inside around the liquor or around people. You couldn't sit, like I couldn't sit in the audience. I couldn't sit at a table or near the bar. Only thing I could do was go on the stage, play, and go off the stage. When it's time to play, come back up. And that was it. I couldn't hang around inside, though.
At age 16, you joined the world famous group, the Waters, who at the time had a record deal with Blue Note Records. How did they come to learn who you are? How did you get that gig?
Well, what actually happened was I was playing with another group, a band, and we had a manager, Jim Boatwright, and so we had been rehearsing with some of his singers that he had, and we had been pretty much working with him. And so he's the one who brought the Waters to us, or brought us to Waters. He had heard about them signing them. Actually, I believe they were the first vocal group to sign Blue Note vocals, because they were singers. So what we did was we combined the two of us. He introduced us, brought us together, and he said, hey, here's a band, and these are the singers. So we merged and just called ourselves the Waters.
Remember, love survives, and we can rock forever. Somebody rock with me, come on. All right, get on up, get up, get up. I see you, come on. One more, hey.
was your first big job, as in some of these other groups like the Floaters, the Temps, Shanice Wilson? What was your first big job in that way? Not as a beginner, but
Yeah.
I think you know what I mean.
Well, I would say that would be with the Waters. You know, that
Still
was our
doing.
first one.
Okay.
But then later on, I was doing the Black Music Awards, and so that's where Shanice Williams came in at. It was a nice pleasure to play with her, and to get a chance to hear her, because I had heard her records and stuff, but I really hadn't been really off into her, you know. And then to be able to play that song, that record that she had out, and I had heard it, and then I had to learn it, you know. And like the Scottish Rite, that was a nice arena that we played at, and out in Wilshire, where they had a whole week. They had actually had a whole 2 weeks of nothing but groups like the Stylistics, Maxine Waters, Ann Weldon, all type of big time groups. They had, you know, we were on a show with the Down the Bird and the Blackbird. That was one we really enjoyed. And they were,
Places and Spaces out there, was that it? Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
what y'all did? Time, remember Time?
Yeah.
Dum dum dum
yeah.
dum. Did you do all that stuff?
I wasn't on. We was on the same show.
It was on the same bill. Okay, I thought you
We
played
on the
with
same
them.
bill.
Okay, I was going,
We were on
whoa.
the same bill.
Shoo.
But I was with Waters, and we were on the same
Yeah.
bill, because they had Bobby Humphrey.
Humphrey, yeah.
And it was just Patrice Rushen, and you know, it was a lot of things. But we used to do a lot of gigs together on the same shows with Patrice Rushen and Brian and things, which turned out to be the Bus Boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, he's a good friend. Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine, him and his brothers, Kevin O'Neill and them. We were way back on doing those gigs.
Gerald.
Yes.
Hey.
How you doing?
See you sitting behind the kid over there.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are the different styles of music that you play?
Actually, pretty much all styles. Myself, jazz, rock, funk, hip hop, blues, reggae, calypso,
Wow.
and pretty much anything that's out there. I pretty much can pick up on it. If something that I haven't played before, generally I can pick up on it. If it's something strange.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Zydeco?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't mention it, but yes, I love Zydeco.
Did you ever have to put that washboard on you?
I never did the washboard, but I put the drums around my neck.
Yeah.
And you know, like we used to do in high school, and then I'd go to the, I've done some of those at funerals, I do.
Wow. What is your preferred style or your favorite style out of all of those?
I think I lean toward jazz.
Oh. See, I thought it would have been R&B or funk or something, soul music.
I like that too. See, I like all good music. I like all good music I like.
Yeah.
You know, no matter if it's good, I like it. If it ain't, I don't, regardless of what style it is.
Everybody has their own thing. Like Purdy has his shuffle, and what is your thing that makes Jerrell special? That when people call you, they just know that they're gonna get that.
Well, I've been called deep pockets.
Come on, not just pocket, deep pocket.
I've been called deep pockets.
Yes, sir.
Some people give me that nickname, you know, or stuff like that. And just, to me, just pretty much filling it out, and I like exploring it, you know, just trying things, you know, and improvising. And then a lot of times, you know, I like to mix the jazz with the funk, you know, and mix the funk with the jazz.
Woo!
Throw
Wow.
it in there a little bit here and there,
Wow.
you know, see what happens.
How do you do that on a job when you got the job in front of you, but you're experimenting?
You do it at rehearsal.
But at at rehearsal, that's when you either get the gig or keep it the gig.
You do it at rehearsal, they didn't hear it.
Ah! Do you believe in that old theory? You do something, and if you make a mistake, you do it again to make it seem like it fit it's supposed to go.
You better do what you can to make it seem, yeah, that's what you do.
You spoke of deep pockets. What is it that make a deep pocket?
Well, to me, it's consistency in keeping the timing. You gotta keep it consistent. But also, with me, it's a feel with it. It's a feel. It's like, to me, you have to put your whole body into it, to make it happen. It's not just like just patting on the drums or tick. It's like the whole thing becomes me, and it's something that I have to like cipher in.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got it, I know it. So you feel it. You know when you got it. It's like, oh, this is it, and we don't waver. And what you're telling everybody is, come to me. This is where it's at. Wow. You guys, if you zero in and if you listen to what I'm doing and you lock in, we'll be rocking it. And that's what James Brown had. That's something they did which was so swell. That's why people, if you lock the pocket in and groove it, and it's really happening, the people can't help but move. They can't help but pop. If they can't be still. That's how James Brown, Earth, Wind, and Fire had it. So, you have to move. Your body is there. If you can't sit there and just look at them, you'll be patting your feet and doing everything, don't even know you're doing it. Because they got that thing locked in, pockets locked.
I love what you said. Make them come to me. Woo! That's huge.
Yeah.
Now, when you mean the audience or the rest of the band members?
The band members. Because if you get the band members, make them come to you. So meaning, everything you all together. The rest of the people you're gonna make them come to you guys.
Wow.
And they're gonna be into you guys once you do that. Because I learned it from listening to a lot of various groups.
Did you know Billy Higgins, the
Oh, yeah.
founder?
Very well.
Did you have a few words for Billy?
A lot of words.
His picture's behind you there.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's
Yes.
why it's there. And because, he's the founder of this world stage. That's why I'm here. Because of Billy Higgins. I mean, he used to run he would have a drum workshop every week, every Monday that we would attend. And we would have jam sessions and some of let's just say the best or the most popular or the most anybody who's in the jazz world and the music business would come by and play. And, I got a chance to play with a lot of guys that I probably wouldn't have never met or anything of that nature if I hadn't start coming down to the world stage. And everybody come to see Billy, and they come give us a show, whether it be, Elvin Jones used to come down, Art Blakey, all those cat marks, Roach, and all those kind of guys, would come down. They were friends of Billy's back in the days, And Billy, he's been a big influence. I used to listen to Billy when I was around 9 years old when I used to play records. And I heard my brother brought a record by Lee Morgan. Because I used to listen to Elvin Jones, Art Blakey, and all the other jazz great drummers. And then I listened to Billy one day and I said, wait a minute, this guy sounds pretty good. So I started listening to Billy. And and after that, then God knows I wasn't going to meet him later on down the line, and then become real close with Billy. He was like my uncle. And I mean, we were family. I love Billy. Billy loved me, and he done a lot of things to let me know. I know he was proud of me, because he would show it. Billy have sent me on situations where he was supposed to be there, and he sent me. And so that let me know he had confidence in me, that he could. And he did it with a smile. He
always had that smile. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's the one.
Joe, give me a little bit, if you will. Gerald, in this section of the show, we do a thing we call word of advice. And what that is we ask the drummers if they would give some parting advice to the young drummers coming up, to the guys that are frustrated and they're trying to get traction and they're trying to figure this thing out and how to get started in the music business as a drummer. Would you leave them a word of advice?
Yeah, basically, I would say consistency. Practice a lot and keep to it. Don't give up. Don't never give up, especially if you have the talent. Just keep on going at it. Practice hard as you practice a lot of practice. Try to keep your ego out of the way and be positive, have positive attitudes. Because even though if you can play well, if you have let's just say a messed up attitude, a lot of people don't want to fool with you. And being on time, you have to be on time. When you show up to these gigs and stuff like that, you want to be professional, basically. Show up on time, do your job, do your homework, make sure whatever you're supposed to do, as far as having the material ready for the show that you're going to do, work on it, make sure you have it right, make sure you do it good, and that way you'll keep working, and other people will call you word of mouth, back and forth, and the word gets around, and next thing you know, you'll be working so much you will have to turn down jobs, and that's the word of advice that I can give you is, just keep at it, be serious about it, if that's what you really want to do.
What would you say on the business side to the young drummers? Resume, bio, having a package?
Well, that's a good, to me, you should have a package where you'll have, your, let's say your resume, your bio, have you one together. It doesn't have to be real long. I mean, you can put your major acts, whoever you perform with, or if you went to school, that's a good thing. And if you are studying with a private teacher, that's a good thing. To me, that's usually faster to learn with. And, so those are the things that I would, say you need to do.
You're presently the music director over at the Black Music Awards, is that right?
For the Black Music Awards, yes.
And what is HIPA Awards?
Oh, that was the HIPA Awards.
Okay.
I did that one last year. I was the musical director for them too. They're more into acting, and for that particular award, they had it at the Alex Theater in Glendale. Wow. And so I was able to do that one a little bit right after I did the Black Music Awards in San Pedro last year, and then I did the Black Music Award this year, just in September, just about a month ago. And
how many pieces did you have to control?
Actually, I only had to control a rhythm section that consists of 5 people and the different singers, that we had on the show, which would have been about 7 or 8 acts.
Did you have to do any writing?
No.
Good.
They had their own material, what they wanted to do, so I didn't have to do any writing.
Do you also write songs, and do you have anything out?
I don't have anything out. Well, let me backtrack. I do write. I have some stuff that's not out yet, and I haven't finished. Then I do have a CD that's finished, but it's not released yet. And it's with one of my own groups called Hindsight 2020. And a friend of mine, Value, he's my business partner, he wrote the majority of all the songs on this CD. And we arranged them, they're different, and we did the arrangement. I also wrote and produced it, mixed it, and so we're gonna release it pretty soon.
Gerald, thank you for being on the show, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Me too.
Wow, great having you on the show. I always wanted you on the show.
Oh yeah?
Because, there's guys that are just wow. And then there's guys that's wow, and we just talked about that, but in a quiet sense. It's like you're like a roaring lion, but you don't ever see the lion. And that's what I really appreciate about, and you know, I'm going to say in the intro, I truly believe they call you because they want to get it right the first time. That's what I think. I've always thought that in your pocket. I just wanted to always talk with you about things like that.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed having you on the show. Tell me anything coming up that we should know about?
Well, let's see. Saturday, this coming Saturday, I'm gonna be out at the Golden Acorn Casino.
Okay.
It's in Ocampo, California, heading up San Diego.
Mm.
I don't expect people from LA to go there.
I'm gonna be there, man.
But we do have a crowd out there that really
Wow.
enjoys the band, and they party pretty hard out there.
What kind of stuff you gonna be playing?
It's gonna be R&B.
R&B.
It'll be old school R&B. You know, some Luther Vandross, Earth, Wind and Fire, Ohio Players.
Do you also sing? You're a little singer. I thought I saw a microphone on your kit somewhere.
Yeah. I
Wow.
do background a lot. Some vocals, some leads, sometime.
Wow.
And and then later on, I joined a gospel quartet. We were called the Mighty Hearts, and
Yes.
we sung. Let me see the years we were in. 2004, 5, and 6. I was in that band.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a really that was whole nother learning experience, because I had to really learn how to really do harmony. I mean, hard harmony, not this easy stuff. That gospel harmony is something else.
Yeah, it is.
That's a whole nother ball of
Yeah.
wax.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fact that we're not all going in the same direction. Two people can be going down and you have to go up. You know, you'll be where y'all intertwining is what I'll consider heavy. You know, that gospel, that harmony, doing that stuff. It's not. And you're by yourself. And if you don't hit it at the right spot, you mess the whole thing up. You know, my job, I ended up taking over the lead singer used to harmonize with the other two. And so when I got there, my job was to take the note that he used to have, so he don't have to do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
And so I had the most dominant note.
Wow. Was it second tenor or baritone or something?
Second.
Wow, you sound like your natural voice sound like a second or
Yeah,
baritone.
second tenor.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, man.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Would you help me wave goodbye?
Goodbye. Take it easy.
See you guys.
All right. Have a good one.
You're an extraordinary drummer. Bye now.